Hey members and patrons, just wanted to record a little behind the scenes video before we get to the end of September. It's our little monthly tradition. I'm zoomed in a little bit more than I usually am because my lens was having trouble with all of the Halloween lights around me. Yeah, we at OrangeRiver do decorating for Halloween a little bit early every year, but nevertheless, hope you guys are doing well. It has been an interesting month. I'll give you that. So basically, and by the way, if you're a new patron or a new member, welcome. This is you get these. You get access to these little vlogs. In addition to the other perks that you get. But basically, I want to just kind of run through, like I usually do, the videos that I have released this month, kind of talk about their performance, and talk about what else has been going on here at OrangeRiver, and then give you guys a little preview of what is to come, what you can expect in October and beyond. So I'm not going to lie, September has been kind of a shit month for ad revenue. But the silver lining is that it's not just me. It really is a lot of YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers have seen a dip in views, frankly, this entire year. Now, 2023 has actually been my best year so far, but and that's mainly because I happened to have just some hits, earlier this year with and especially with like a lot of Trek channels grew significantly in like February when Picard season 3 began airing. Now that it's been off, there was a little bit of a Strange New Worlds bump, but of course the the strikes, the labor strikes that we're seeing in Hollywood, the effects are starting to trickle down a little bit, and we might see some lore channels take a hit over the next little while, but that the long term effects of that remain to be seen. Yeah, just and again, just to get it out of the way, like I want to express again my solidarity with the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikers. We here at OrangeRiver support the folks who help bring your entertainment to life. They've got to afford rent. They got bills to pay too. They're human, and even though I'm self-employed, I feel like it's a responsibility of my platform to do that. Anyway, yeah. So starting off with the videos that I've released this month, we had Warbirds, Romulan Warbirds, that was on the 8th. To be perfectly honest, it significantly underperformed my expectations. Still to this day, as of when I'm recording this, it only has 11,000 views. And again, I'm not really sure why. I thought that topic was going to perform a lot better. But this is going to be a common pattern that you'll see with a lot of my videos this month. It the click-through rate, which is the percentage of people who are shown a video in their recommendations who actually clicked on it, pretty much across the board is the same for most of my videos these days. So it's not so much that you guys aren't clicking on it, it's that YouTube is not showing it to enough people. The impressions are low. And I don't know what to do about that. I mean, that's kind of random. That's not really something I have control over. If YouTube would just actually show my videos to the relevant audiences, and YouTube likes to, and by the way, I know that every time I get on here, I talk about this kind of stuff, but it matters, right? These analytics signal to me, to a degree, like, what kind of avenues I should pursue content wise. And I'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But when YouTube talks about why videos perform a certain way, when YouTube talks about how their algorithm perform, or why the algorithm performs a certain way, why the algorithm behaves a certain way, I should say. They swear up and down that it has it's completely tied to audience behavior, viewer habits, right? I just don't believe them. I just, every time they say something like that, every time they try to explain how one of these features works, I think that they're either naive about how their own algorithm functions, which they very well could be, because these things are not easy to parse, or they are just straight up lying. So it's very hard to, and of course, YouTube now has new management, a new CEO. Neil Monahan stepped in. I believe that's his name. I should probably know that. We just had Susan Wojcicki step down a while back. But so and as soon as he steps in, the algorithm, it feels like the algorithm changes. Now, what I will say is that there is such a thing as typical seasonal variation for view counts. So late summer, or just summer in general, and spring for a lot of creators are not so hot, because that's the, like, ad rates are down in the spring and summer. And there is a degree to which viewing habits influence that, like more people are outside and whatnot. I have always had trouble with early fall as well, for some reason. So it's not unusual for my revenue to be down during this period, but now that I'm paying an editor to edit a lot of my videos, it's something that I have to keep an eye on. And it also is influencing, like, my decision making as to what topics I'll pursue in the future, because there is such a thing as paying too much attention to analytics, getting lost in the analytics, but there's also such a thing as not paying attention to them enough. And like I said, part of my job is to make these kinds of decisions. I can't really invest too much time and energy into a bunch of the same types of videos that YouTube is just not respecting, which is why I moved away from monthly alien biology videos, for instance, that kind of thing. But I also released Dune. It was a remake of my 2022 video of the same topic. I wanted to kind of update it in my main style, because the first time around it was kind of in an experimental style that was kind of divisive, but also I wanted to flesh out, like, the science of the sandworms, some more stuff about the Bene Gesserit, some more stuff about the Imperium. And that video, I also expected it would not take off immediately. The reason that I did it, another reason that I did it, is because I wanted to have something ready to kind of ride the wave of the hype for the release of Dune Part 2. Now, of course, Warner Brothers has pushed back the release date of that film to early 2024 because of the strikes. So yet again, these corporations would just pay people what they are worth, then this would not be so much of a problem. But I digress. But yeah, some Dune fans, I will say, some Dune fans in my audience kind of came out of the woodwork with some nitpicks, some nitpicky comments, and yeah, that happened. That's all I will say about that. I don't, the video. I'm not saying the video is perfect or anything, but sci-fi fans can be a little nitpicky sometimes. But anyway, I've moved on. I released cloaks last week, cloaking devices, and that was a fun project to work on. That one and Dune were edited by my editor, Tim, and he did a great job. And cloaks also not performing exactly where I thought it would. I've got to be honest. It's hard for me to understand to a degree why. And again, it's only so much my audience. It's mainly YouTube, right? Why recommend a video like replicators to millions of people and it has like over 200,000 views, but a video like transporters, initially when I released it last year, it plateaued at like 30K. I am having trouble even getting to that point, which is really concerning with some of these topics. But so we're hoping that or I'm hoping that the holiday season, when the ad rates go up in the holiday season, that YouTube impressions will improve because more people will be watching content on their devices over the holidays. But yeah, so that's my report for September. There's one more, as of when I'm recording this, there's one more Friday left in September, and I'm probably going to release a supercut of my Mirror Universe, the 3 Mirror Universe videos that I did in 2021, because that's a nice little trilogy. And I've got to do something to get my numbers up, and yes, that does include re-uploading content. But those compilations are kind of hot on YouTube right now. So I've done one before. I did a Dominion supercut last year that was well received. So this should be hopefully helpful in some capacity. But yeah. I'm going to repeat some of this stuff on my stream, my next live stream that I do on, this time it's going to be, I think, Saturday the 30th, perhaps. I'm going to take a break from gaming. I was going to play Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, but I always like to do my blind playthroughs before I stream them just for time efficiency's sake. And I haven't quite finished it because I was kind of sick a little bit last week, so I've gotten behind on some stuff, and I'm just figured I'm not gonna rush that. Nobody, people will still appreciate it when it does arrive, and now you guys know about it. But so far, I'm rather impressed. I'm rather impressed by it. It's an old game, It's kind of rough around the edges a little bit, early 2000s graphics, early 2000s controls, but we're getting there. Next month, what can you expect? Well, was it October? I have a video about Mass Effect's Omega Plague. So this is about the Omega Plague in Mass Effect 2, the science of it, and also some Vorcha biology thrown in there. Really fun topic. Tim edited that, did a really good job with that. So I think you guys will enjoy that. That's my first Mass Effect video in months. The week after that, I'm going to probably release Slingshot Effect. So that's another classic Trek science topic that, it's kind of like Stardates, could perform as well as that, or it could fall flat on its face again. We'll just have to see. You never know. It's kind of random. And if it seems like I am going a little crazy because of all of this stuff, it's because I kind of am. Seriously, though, these things come in waves. Every time I have one of these ad revenue dips, I always, get a little paranoid, and I'm thinking, like, is this time different? If history is any indication, it's not, but we shall see. We shall see. But I have too much content planned to not keep going. We got to keep going. We got to hit 100K, and this is stuff that I'm going to be dealing with probably forever. I mean, this is the reason that you hear multi-million sub YouTubers still complain about the algorithm and accept sponsorships, because they're affected by this too. We can't all be Mr. Beast, with his millions of subs, making millions and millions of dollars, humiliating poor people on camera. But anyway, that's enough of that. God, this is a feisty vlog. But to wrap up what you'll see in October, so at the end of October, I will be releasing probably, or I might be releasing a highlight video of my stream of Metroid Zero Mission that I did on my birthday. It was edited by my friend Justin, and he did a fantastic job with that. But before that, a big one, something, drum roll please, something that you all have been waiting for, my TNG movies retrospective. That's right, it's finally arriving. I teased it in July at the end of my seasons 5 through 7 retrospective. And my friend Kinsey helped me shoot it the other day, and I edited that together. It's 49 minutes long, and it's glorious. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's got some fun energy in it, some funny edits, and it's a fun video. So hopefully it'll land big. We'll see. I think that I am gonna do a fundraiser for it though, because we just had to go a little bit above and beyond with the production of it again, like we did for the last TNG retrospective. But already, some of you have donated to that, and I really appreciate that. If you want to add to the fund, I'll put some information in the description if you're watching this on YouTube or on Patreon. I'll put in my PayPal link, or you can just go to paypal.me/TJ Pilkington, Pilkinton. And so I really appreciate those of you who've already donated to that, and let's get that number up. I'm gonna have to do a few more fundraisers like that throughout the rest of the year, I think, guys, or just possibly in perpetuity, because to be perfectly frank with you guys, it's getting harder and harder to get some of these Star Trek videos off the ground, some of these sci-fi lore videos off the ground, and they're getting more complex. I'm outsourcing the edits a little bit, and that's necessary to a significant degree, because that is allowing me to do things like, watch shows that I need to cover, play games that I can play on stream and make videos about those, relax a little bit, because I think I've earned it a little bit. Stuff like that. But, I never want to take for granted the support that you guys give me directly by being a patron or a member. You're helping out tremendously, and you're loved and appreciated, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm forgetting you in the slightest. I just have to, rally around the flag, my audience a little bit, rally the troops. I don't know where I'm going with that metaphor. I want to build up excitement. I want to build up hype, because something like TNG movies, like, that's huge. That's a huge topic, right? It needs to land big. I want to get some hype around it, and so I'm going to do a fundraiser for it probably. And then the last thing that I will be releasing in October probably is, at the end of October, I will be streaming Metroid Fusion, most likely, and I just got through with my casual playthrough of it. It's a little tough, it's a little hard, but it was, I did Super Metroid last year, so now I'm doing Fusion, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's a little bit different from other Metroids, but and then maybe Elite Force the month after that. We'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this and listening to me ramble, because I probably went off the rails a little bit in this vlog. But it's been a hectic month, but I still have a lot of stuff in store that I'm excited about. So before this vlog crosses the 20-minute mark, thank you all so much for watching. Check out that PayPal link down below, and I will see you next time I do something. So live long and prosper. Love you guys. Appreciate all you do to support the channel.